What are my top 5 crypto coins to buy for this new bull run? I keep getting that question. Let me tell you this, ladies and gents. I don't think you understand how stupid things are going to get very soon. I'll quickly put up a post here real quick, right? Here's Cyborg Psyop Layers that says, hey, most of you can't comprehend how stupid things can become. There was a time that XRP in total market cap, so that is with all the coins combined, not just the ones in circulation, flipped Bitcoin. Solar coin was worth more than Ethereum, and below ETH was the ATM coin. Hold as we're going higher. Now, these are the good old times. A lot of you guys were not here back then. And again, it's not like this in the real world really happened because this is total market cap, not circulating. So XRP never flipped Bitcoin in the real life, but you get the idea, right? The values were interesting. And if you want to see some of the cool stuff for yourself, you can, by the way, go to historical snapshots. If you go back to, for example, let's just say 2018, we go to, we'll go to 2017, December 31st. Indeed, things do get pretty wonky already on its own. But just for fun, here are some of the top 200 coins, for example, and their performances over the past 24 hours. And it's kind of funny that a few days after XRP hit its all-time high, for example, you can see the let me show you like this. You can see the 7-day performance for a lot of these coins and the 24-hour performance of some of these coins and just how crazy it was back then. I just want to put it into perspective, right? A 58 number coin, a 30 number coin is up 1,000% in a week, 2,000% in a week. Let's go to the week before that because that was perhaps even more logical because this was before a lot of the coins hit the all-time high. You can see the numbers that some of these have pulled there over the 24-hour period, right? A coin in the 60th spot was up 100%. Bridge coin was up 80%. Let's go to the week before that. I'm not sure if that was a bad week. No, it was not. You can see, just generally speaking here, a lot of the top coins are up just massive numbers. This red coin, it completely made and wrecked my portfolio. Little fun fact about that. I'm just going to put in perspective here. A lot of you guys don't understand how, okay, this is a bad day. Look at this. So some coins are actually down 11% or so within an hour. So I guess that was a bad day. This one's up 25% in an hour. You can kind of go on with that story. 90% up in a day, 60% up in a day. Let's go the week before that. Just to put things into perspective, 200% up in a day, 130% up in an hour, 12% up in a week, 1,000% up. MANA at the time also up 300% or so in a week. Dime coin, whatever, up 200% in a day, 300% in a week. And you can kind of get where I'm coming from. Just right now, the market's doing good. Sure, but really, is it that crazy? Where a lot of coins are up like 100%, 50%, whatever in a day. You see it sometimes, sure. But realistically, this is now, as I've just shown you, like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, or whatever, in a row of just craziness almost every single time I look at it here. A freaking Fedora coin is in the top 200, being up 400% in a day. And you can see a lot of these coins are up so much. And again, I've just been scrolling through. It's day in, day out, week in, week out. This coin is up 30% in an hour, 50% in an hour. And yes, of course, there's also coins on the opposite side, but you've seen the weekly performances, week after week after week. Anyway, so to get back to the story though, if you're asking me then, which altcoin will be the one to make you rich, I will state that it's generally speaking like the bottom up approach, meaning the lower it is in the ranking, the more money it will make you. If you go to page like 6, for example, there's still quite a good certainty that the coin is going to be around, but generally speaking, it'll make you more than a coin on page number 1. Even though many of these coins can still do a 10 or even 1,000x from here, really, over a few cycles. Think about it, right? None of these coins are even worth $1 billion at the bottom right here. This is $1 billion. With a coin like XRP this cycle, or maybe even Ethereum, hitting like $1 trillion an altcoin, right? Maybe at the peak of the cycle somewhere. Next cycle, a lot of coins probably are going to be at $1 trillion. Just my thought process. So from that perspective, there's even still 1,000x, or let's just say 500x potential for coins in the top 100. 500x is a lot, right? So then from that perspective, everything, is your playground. But I'm just saying that the higher up you go, generally speaking, the less of the gains we expect. But generally speaking, in full dummy bull market, things get so stupid that it's not really about whatever has the best fundamentals. Partially, it's about whichever coin can get you the most hyped up in a short period of time. So a coin like BNB or XRP, whatever, it doesn't really matter which coin we pick here. It could literally outperform every single other one in this list purely because they get one crazy partnership going, one crazy announcement going, and it just makes the price go up 140% in a week based off of one thing alone. And then the hype of that just causes a whole spiral of the price going up more and more and more. And so the reason I'm being kind of careful here, or I'm being a little bit strange with my info, is because I'm saying, if you find it like I'm not getting to a conclusion right here with which coins is it, it's because I'm trying to tell you that it could be any one of these coins. Anybody telling you that they know with certainty is either lying or is stupid, because they've probably not been around for as long as we have here. And so I'm telling you, a coin like Filecoin right now doesn't look like the best path towards massive gains. It's still down a lot from its all-time high, though. At some point, it could just wake up and do a 100x. You're looking at it thinking, oh, wait, why? It says here the all-time high was $250. Did they not do a swap of sorts? If that's really true for Filecoin, that is ridiculous. I can't, what? Anyway, but that would be like a 50x from here or so. Absolutely ridiculous for just a coin at the top. But I've said they're not really in the most bullish of narratives, but just going back to a 50x then would bring it back to previous prices. And then maybe even this bull market go up from there. Let's take a look back at Filecoin. What was the market cap at that point then? Let me just quickly see that. So the market cap ever, at some point it was, no, so that is, so they've done some shenanigans in the midst here, because the market cap right now is 3 billion. Back then it was only 12 billion. So it was only 4 times as high as it is right now, which is another game that a lot of these coins are playing, by the way. I'm like, this is way too high. But that's another funny thing. Some people look at that all-time high and think, oh, it's got to go back to all-time high prices. Generally speaking, I always say look at market cap more than prices. Because if there's a crazy influx in tokens, if they've inflated the living crap out of their supply, it doesn't necessarily have to happen. Let me quickly show you, for example, a coin like HBAR. Let me just quickly go ahead and find it. I'll just quickly put up an example, right? So the all-time high for this coin was September 2021, 3 years ago, at 57 cents. So if you take a look, you would say that right now we went to like what? Which day was that? Okay, so it doesn't even show here at 57 cents, but apparently that was happening in September. If we look at it right now, we went to what? Like, let's just say 30-some cents, 35. We have a pretty good ways to go towards the all-time high. If we take a look at market cap, though, let's quickly see. You see, back then, the market cap only hit, let's say, 7 billion or something like that. Right now, we hit a market cap of 12.5 billion. So actually, we've actually already doubled the all-time high, because there's most likely just been a very, very big influx of tokens. You can see the circulating supply right now is 38 billion. I'm not too sure how much it was at the time, but most likely significantly lower. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense, so that's most likely the case. Even with XRP, we commented before that right now as it stands, we actually have already broken the all-time high. Even though in price, not at all, but it's just a market cap we have. Because the highest market cap it hit was roughly, let's just say, $120 billion. And this time around, we hit what, 140 maybe? Maybe something like that. Yeah, let's just call it 150 or 140 some billion dollars. So anyway, a lot of people that base these theories based on, or I should say base their theories on whatever a coin was able to do in the past, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of it doesn't really make too much sense. What I always say is, in crypto bull markets, really, it's just that crazy of a house. As in, nobody really has an advantage over anybody else. The only people that do are the people that spend all their time realizing what the current trend is, but you can't really predict that before it happens. You can see it logically. Like, for example, the fact that AI will most likely do really, really well. And that's why I said, if you're going, for example, all in on the AI sector, there's a pretty good chance you're going to win over a whole period of like a few months. Most likely you'll win very, very hard. But if you want the real edge, you really want to make the craziest of gains. If we look back at the historical graph, like I just showed you, the historical numbers, a lot of coins are just the most random ass coins you've never heard of before, based off of some news, based off of hype. This hype coin, where is it? Number 20-some? Number 22. This coin was $3 a month ago when it launched. It was an airdrop given to everybody for free for trading on there. It did a 10x in like a month, and it's right now a top 20 coin. Anybody who bought in, it was like a top, let's just say here, right? Right now it's at what? Let's quickly see. Right now it's at a market cap of, let's say, $8 billion, right? So let's just say it was maybe number 100 or so, not even a month ago, maybe like a week ago. I'm not sure how long. Let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever. It was a number 100 coin. Right now it's back up to number 20. Anybody could have taken that because it was available everywhere, so to speak. It was one of the most popular coins at the time. If you were really paying a lot of attention, some people, like, I don't want to say the names. Let's just say some people really went all in on it, went crazy. All of a sudden, 10x their net worth in a month, right? And then there's some people saying, no, but a coin at the top here, it can't do a 10x no more. A lot of these coins can do way more than a 10x. Even a coin at the top of the top here, like XRP, can do way more than a 10x over a cycle. You just are way too bearish. You're just not understanding of how crazy dumb things can get if the proper hype is applied to the coin you like. And if you get a little bit lucky in that department. For example, a coin like Uniswap, right? All of a sudden, they launch something new. They're going for a Unilay or whatever the freak, right? They're going for a whole new season. They get a cool new partnership going, and they get an announcement that was just really unexpected. The price could just double based off of that alone, but then maybe once it gets the momentum and people start building things on whatever they're building right now, it's a cascading effect. All of a sudden, we see a 7x for Uniswap in just a few days. Just like how, again, Hyperliquid here saw a 8 or 9x, whatever, in the span of a month. Just quickly to show it to you. It's been mostly upwards only. Let's just quickly see here. You can see this is the chart. It's just been up and up and up ever since launch. But there's another one, which we talked about earlier, virtuals. Let's quickly see. I think they're down a lot today. Here we go. If we take a look at the performance here, right, ever since the last, I'm going to say month or so, let's just quickly take a look at it, if we can here real quick. So there's a long story of virtuals, but if we just take a look at the recent performance here, just back in October, it was 5 cents. Right now, it's $2.50. Right, so from 5 cents to $2.50 in the span of like 2 months or something like that. You can change your life real quick if you either get lucky or if you just hammer on the right narratives, because a lot of people were calling for virtuals at what? Let's just say $1.20 or something like that, and then it went to $3 some. And in that span, you could have still tripled your money or so in just a snap of a few days. And people keep thinking, yeah, but Dusty, I need a 10x. Man, tripling your money in just a few days on a coin that's already like worth $1 billion or so, or like $500 million. It is so good because it's highly liquid, very small chance that it's going to rug and go to zero. And if you start adding all those things up, those are really your best coins. So I often say, I think it's better to stick with coins that are already quite large, seeing them go larger, and then doing multiple flips throughout a season, then going for one coin that's in like the 105th spot or so, because there's also a good chance you're going to zero with those coins. Whereas with these big coins, the biggest risk you've got, in my opinion, is that other coins will outperform it. But I don't think the chance of you going to zero or really losing everything is that high. Obviously, we also have these trading positions open almost all the time. And by the way, if you also want to trade, I'll leave a link down below to the 𝗏𝗏 or WEX, and make sure you press the like button if you haven't done it yet. But the reason I leave them down below is obviously because I think trading can sometimes be easier than buying the right coin. But ultimately, it's just a bit of what you prefer. I just wanted to say, if you're always looking for the next coin, you're looking for, what is your top coin list? Whatever. Just realize you can't really put those predictions up beforehand, before there's any new narrative. We can make some guesses, some educated guesses as to what the hot things are. But generally speaking, you'll only find out once it's happening. Right now is not that time. All you need to do, though, is prepare by getting yourself the right equipment, getting yourself an account on a place like 𝗏𝗏. As I said, link is down below. Get yourself an account already. Get yourself ready. Make sure there's some money on there. Make sure you've traded a couple of times before. Make sure you bought a couple of altcoins already, so you know how it all works. So the moment that the chance comes, you're there to take action. Anyway, so again, if we're talking about my expectation of price, many coins are at 10x minimum. If we go lower, I'm always putting my target slightly higher, 30x for a lot of these coins. I often get comments saying, Dusty, you're crazy. You're a lunatic for saying these things are so high. And then I look back at whatever was happening back in 2021, for example, and I realize, man, if we go back, historical snapshots here just for fun, back in the 2021 run here, if we can quickly go back to one of them, I realized that every single time I had a target, I had to put that number up way freaking higher. Let me go to let's go to 3 October here, for example. So you see 24-hour performance here, nothing too crazy. A lot of coins that you kind of never heard of before are doing the best. Actually, it's kind of funny. Here, let's just see. Ooh, ho, ho. So this was like bad weeks, huh? Which you also have in the midst. These are all relatively kind of bad weeks here. This is 24 hours, though. I'm just going to quickly put up here. But you can see a lot of coins the previous week here. Again, back in some pretty juicy gains. But let's just quickly go towards a really good week, because this is all bad days. Okay, here's a really, really good week. Ho, ho. This is another one where a lot of coins are crazy up over the past 24 hours. A lot of coins also down still, though. You know, it's also sometimes funny that a lot of coins change their name. For example, this is Monaco Coin, which now rebranded to Crypto.com. That was actually, if you've been around, a lot of the coins did that. They switched their names throughout time. Man, here for fun is also, for example, May of 2021. This is 24 hours. Everything just went to absolute gutter back then. I remember now, actually. That was a very, very interesting day. A couple of times throughout that May 2021, there was some destruction in the markets. Here you can see things recovered pretty quickly. But this, for example, I think this was one of the worst weeks we've ever faced, with a lot of coins going on like double digits and the crazy numbers throughout that day. But I don't know if it's exactly this day that was the craziest or like a few days after, a few days before. Just remember things were crazy at the time. But look, 7 days, it went down 75%. Ah, okay. That's not the best example to give. Let's just start here at Monaco coin then. Or Bitcoin Standard going down, what was it now? Anyway, some crazy numbers throughout that week. Then let's talk about the opposite side of the equation. I just wanted to say, man, in a real bear market, many coins will see the bottoms of bottoms, but we're not there yet. We're in the good times. Right now, it's still buy everything, go crazy. Woo! Things may go bad in the midst, sure. But if you just buy those dips and you do that religiously, I personally think you'll make crazy sums of gains over the next few months. And that is still something I hold quite dearly. Which coins? A lot of different answers are right. But all you got to do is just lock in right now, focus on it properly, adapt if the narrative switches, and just make sure you do not give up because it will be worth it in the end. That's about it.